What's up, everyone? I hope you're having a good day. Today, I wanted to do a palm review on the palm that got me into palms, Washingtonia Robusta, or the Mexican fan palm. So these are native to Baja California and Mexico, but they are most commonly cultivated um, in at the southeast and Gulf Coast regions of the U.S. They have naturalized in Florida um, and have kind of expanded upward. It's becoming a really popular landscape palm, and it's replacing a lot of native palms like the palmetto because it is very fast growing, and the palmetto is very slow growing. So, like for instance, this frond right here was like this about 2.5 weeks ago. So you can see how how fast growing these really are. Now, in a perfect world, perfect environment, and everything, they can get upwards of 50 fronds a year, and that's a full crown and about 5 feet of trunk growth every year. Provided the perfect conditions. But here, I would expect maybe half that to 3/4 of that output yearly. With protection, of course, in the wintertime. Now, I'd say these are very, I mean, despite being from a desert climate, these are very water tolerant, which is why they're so popular on the East Coast. And, you can see these even in some standing surface water as well, they can take. But, yeah, so this is one of my favorite palms. I have just love the look of it, first of all. And second of all, it's fast growing, and, but it's got these big, deep green, rich fronds and everything. But so cold tolerance wise, I am in zone 7B, 8A. I would say reliably. I mean, every so often we do get down to 5 degrees every like 15, 20 years. That's a 20-year freeze though, really. But deep freeze rather. But I've seen these take 18 degrees, no damage. Below that, it does get pretty sketchy. But yeah, I had one in the ground this past winter, and I had protected it all winter. I had, it wrapped up in Christmas lights and everything. And one night I didn't protect it. Was the night it got to 18 degrees and kicked the bucket then. But they're so fast growing that they really do recover from something like that pretty quickly if they're not dead. But that one died. I have this one and another one on the other side of my house. But as you can see, it's got a very stately look to it, which I like. Now, excuse me. There's a difference between. So this is the Mexican fan palm, and people, they ask a lot, what's the difference between the Mexican fan palm and Falifera, the California fan palm? And that is, the California fan palm is more cold hardy, but also can't tolerate any of the water, that this can. Like, this could have standing water, in the crown. And another thing about this, it's got armament right on there, on the petiole. On the petiole right there, it's got armament. It's pretty dangerous, actually. I've cut myself several times with these. But Falifera has more of this fluff sort of stuff, and it's got a thicker base, a thicker trunk to it, and it's more cold hardy but less water tolerant, and it doesn't do well in humid environments like we have in the east. So that's why you'll find those out west mainly. But even this palm, despite being from a desert climate, does very well in our wet, humid, hot eastern climate. But yeah, so these things, they blow up. Like, I mean, they can take cool weather as well, which is another thing with palms. Some can do the heat, the cold, but they die in the cool. This palm can do the cool, so even if you're in a cooler growing zone, still 8A or above, I'd say, 8B long term. But yeah, these palms they're great really for anywhere, and in the wintertime, you can wrap them up, and they look all nice. You keep them looking nice, rather. There's a guy in Ontario who has these, and he protects them in the wintertime with a big box around them with lights and everything, like temperature regulators. I don't need any of that. I just need to wrap them up with some burlap and Christmas lights and call it good. But yeah, so again, one of my favorite palms, the palm that got me into palms. It's fast growing, it's cold hardy, it's it's really an all around great palm for sure. There it is. But yeah, so anything else about this? Let's see. Well, soil type. It can take pretty much any soil you throw at it, really. It's pretty tolerant to most soils. It's got these nice palmate leaves. So this is what palmate looks like. And then you go over to something like a Livistona, which you might think it's palmate, but it's actually, if you look at it from this way, it's more curved like a palmetto. So this is Costa palmate, and then obviously like my sago over here, this is very pinnate, like kind of a traditional palm look, even though this is a cycad, but you get the point. That's I'm blanking. That's palmate, Costa palmate, and pinnate.